Years later, the mystery continues into what happened to former Center County District Attorney Ray Gricar. It was a decade ago today when Gricar was reported missing and soon was the subject of a worldwide search. But what happened to Gricar, who simply vanished, is still unknown. And with the latest on this story, Gary Sinderson's in the Center County newsroom. Gary?
And Marty, the Ray Gricar mystery remains amazing as the fact it is now 10 years later to the day. In recent days, we reached out to a number of people who were close to Gricar, close to the case. Many of them simply didn't want to talk about it. Others just shook their head when we asked about Gricar. This morning, though, we did sit down and talk to a man who was a good friend of Gricar's who remains close to his family. Shortly after her father, Ray Gricar, went missing in April of 2005, his daughter, Lara, pleading for his return or even just a phone call.
She's now a mother. She's now raising her child. I've spoken to her recently and by email, as recently as this morning, in fact, and she's doing very well. Moving on. She's moving on with her life, but this is still the loss of her father is still figuring prominently into her.
Amos Goodall is a family friend of the Gricars. It's the close bond Gricar had with his daughter that leads Goodall to reject any theories that Gricar simply walked away.
Anyone who knew Ray knew that if he could have returned, he would have.
It was 10 years ago when Gricar was last seen in LEWISBURG, inside and near these antique shops. Police were all over the scene.
And that's the other problem with the case, because you had so many agencies involved. You know, we had it first as just, you know, maybe a missing person. With Ray's background, at times he would leave for extended period of times and not tell anybody.
There were accusations the early days of the investigation were not handled well.
Things that could have been done that weren't done. It's not only my own opinion, but it's the opinion of two former district attorneys, one of which was the district attorney. He was the state chairman of the District Attorneys Association at the time.
Right.
The investigation was totally mishandled, totally inadequate.
Once the case went worldwide, there were plenty of leads into what happened to Gricar.
I organized a reward that we posted and provided that the Women's Resource Center actually sponsored it, and there was a substantial reward, and I think people were trying to claim the reward. A lot of people were diligently looking for signs of what happened to Ray.
State police issuing this statement this week that Gricar is still considered a missing person case, but whether Gricar was killed, committed suicide, or simply decided to disappear is still a mystery. And for a long time, the Bellefonte Police Department headed up the Gricar investigation. It was just a few weeks ago when the Bellefonte Chief, Sean Weaver, told us bottom line, law enforcement doesn't know what happened to Ray Gricar. Well, more coming up at 6. We're live in Center County. Gary Sinderson, 6 News.